Hello everyone, welcome back to On the Air with Brett and Claire.
I'm Brett.
And I'm Claire. And this is an audio only episode this week. And it feels really weird that we don't have the camera on. It feels like I'm just talking into a microphone.
You are.
I know, but it just feels different without the whole setup going on.
It's kind of nice because of how long we were just in the car.
Yep, we were in the car for a very long time. We had mentioned last week that we may be going to the Poconos for your birthday. And spoiler alert, we did not go there. We went to Maine. And it was so much farther than we thought.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. What was it supposed to be, 8 hours?
Yes.
Yeah, so we were supposed to go 8 hours in the car. And I don't know, we were kind of like, that's not too bad. But in reality, it ended up being almost 12 hours.
Yeah, I feel like at least 12. There's just, I don't even know why it took so long. I just feel like there's so much traffic. We ended up taking a weird route and we went through Vermont, New Hampshire. I don't know. I feel like the most basic principle is math is that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line or whatever. And we went in the exact opposite of what a straight line is.
Yeah, we went, because on the way back, we didn't go through all those states. So it was
No.
why did we do that in the first place? And I don't know, it was really pretty, so it wasn't the worst thing ever, but it was, I swear that we only stopped for maybe 30 minutes total on the way there. If not, I don't even think it was a full 30 minutes, and we still were, it kept adding so much time every time we would stop for gas or let the dogs out or whatever.
Yeah, I just think the rule on a road trip is if you stop at all, you're adding another 2 hours to your drive, no matter what. Which makes no sense, but that's just always how it goes. But, yeah, we did have to stop a little bit more to, feed the dogs, and, their dinner and all that, because obviously we did bring all 3 of them with us, which was good for them. But, yeah, it was a really far drive. We had a great time, but we were supposed to come home on Sunday, and we just got home as we're recording this, and it's Wednesday at 2 p.m. We just got home, got the rental car dropped off, and got unpacked. So
yeah, we extended a lot past what we had originally planned, but after today and yesterday, I think if we would have just come back after a full day there, we would have had to have extended it at least one extra day anyways.
yeah, I just think we got there, and the drive was so insane to get there that we felt like we had to make it worth the drive. And also, we had to recover before driving again because we're just not used to it anymore. Back in the day, we lived in Texas. I don't know, my favorite fun fact about myself, I drove from the Grand Canyon to Granbury in one day. And I just cannot do that nowadays. I can't even sit in the car that long.
Yeah, it's really uncomfortable. My body just can't handle it.
Yeah, and I get super car sick now. I kind of got car sick before, but now it's really bad because I'm just, not used to being in a car, I guess. I don't know.
We walk around so much for transportation now. We only sit for a couple minutes if we do at all on, the subway or a bus. And so our legs are used to moving around, and now, for this trip, I just felt like my legs were stuck in place, and they were just getting, I don't know, I was getting cramps and my legs were locking up, and it was just terrible.
Yeah, I was very restless. But all that to say, that's why there's an audio-only episode, because there's just simply not enough time to edit a video episode and get it up for you guys on the time that it should be up. And just to be quite honest, we're tired, and we have a lot of other stuff to do today other than record this episode even. So
yeah, we didn't really plan out staying those extra days, so we're just doing our best right now.
Yeah, I thought I was going to have, Monday to do the outline for an amazing podcast episode and all this stuff, and like unfortunately that just didn't happen. So hopefully this episode is still decent, but we're just gonna like recap our trip to Maine, and then I don't know, we'll see what else we get into. I found some random like news stories that are kind of funny, so maybe we can talk about that just as an ending.
Yeah, I guess if we can't talk about it long enough, we'll do that.
Yeah, they're kind of fun and interesting. And then next week's episode we will be much better prepared for, and I don't even want to say, hopefully we'll have the camera up and running and the YouTube video will be out, but I'm going to
jinx us every time.
I know. So just, you'll find out on Thursday if there will be a YouTube episode next week or not.
We'll find out too.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, I guess let's get into our main recap.
So yeah, like we talked about, the drive, it took a very long time, and it was like not that bad on the way up there. It was worse on the way back, but the drive there was really pretty. Lots of hills, and eventually we got into mountains. Lots of great places to take pictures too. Claire was trying to take pictures from the car, which is very difficult. And all the good stuff was on my side of the car, so that was kind of frustrating for her. And then we finally got there. It was, what was it, like 11 or later?
Yeah, we thought we were going to get there at like 6 p.m. and then it was like 11:30. So that was another thing. It's like, okay, we planned to get there and then have a full day and then go home the next day. But we thought we were still going to have like a afternoon or evening plus the next full day, if that makes sense. And then we just got there and went like basically straight to sleep because we'd been in the car for way longer than we anticipated.
Yeah, and I don't know, we had to find food when we got there because we were starving, and there was no food on this entire route. It was just gas station food.
Literally nothing.
And gas station food only gets you so far because even the healthier items there are disgusting. And they don't even, like, I try to get like a sandwich with just like some lettuce and tomatoes and like a little meat and like it just doesn't do it. It doesn't fill you up enough. It makes you still feel sick like you ate gas station food. And yeah, we just needed real food, and we called around, and I guess there was only one place in this entire town that was open past midnight. And so I had to walk there, wait, get the food. And I came back, and it was only like chicken tenders is all we could get with fries.
Yeah, because it was like a bar, right? And they just had like a late night menu with like a little bit of food, but it was like the only food for hours, literally.
Yeah, and it was like, it wasn't terrible, but it was not what I was wanting. Like, chicken tenders were not, that wasn't it.
I don't know. I thought they were good. I was just so hungry at that point. I did not care. I was like, this is food, and I'm so thankful for it.
Yeah, I was just so tired because I had driven the whole way. I was like out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, driving a lot like that, it just puts you in a weird, like, I don't know, my eyes won't work the normal way. My body's like vibrating the whole time afterwards. And yeah, I was just really not having it. But yeah, we got through. We fell asleep, and then we woke up early, like super early the next day somehow. Like, you woke me up at like 7.
Yeah, well, the thing about the Northeast is the sun rises at like 5 a.m. So, and we sleep with the blinds open, like here and at the hotel. So, like,
yeah.
I was waking up with the sun. Like, because the sun will be shining so bright in the window.
See, I just ignore it. I don't really care. I'm like, I'm going to sleep still. And then you were like, it's 7, let's go.
I don't know. My body just wakes up and it's like, okay, the sun's up. It's time to start the day.
Yeah, I was not excited about that. I was just kind of like, what time is it? And why are we awake right now?
Yeah, well, at that point, we hadn't decided to extend our trip either. So I really wanted to make the most of the day, which we did.
Yeah, we did a lot. What did we do first? We went to the state park.
National Park. Yeah, we went to Acadia National Park, and they have like, I was not really prepared for a hike. I didn't realize it was that kind of place necessarily. Because so we went to Maine in the first place instead of the Poconos because the Poconos, it was hard to find a hotel. And sorry, the dogs are barking, so I got distracted. But the Poconos, it was hard to find a hotel, and with 3 dogs, like, it's really hard to find a hotel almost anywhere that will allow you to have 3 dogs there. So we were just looking around at other places we could go, and then you said Maine, and then I started looking at Maine, and I was like, that looks fun, we should go there.
Yeah, and the only reason I said Maine was my coworker, my builder at DR Horton, my last job before we left, he was from Connecticut, and I was just telling him, like, we want to move to New York City or whatever, and he was like, well, you should do a whole tour of New England. And I was asking about, like, where the best lobster rolls are, and he said Maine, and so that was just, like, in my head. And whenever I was scrolling around and I saw Maine, I was like, oh, let's just go there. Like, it can't be that bad, like, that far. But because the other trips we've gone on weren't that far, so I was thinking it'd be, like, the same thing.
Yeah, it's like a couple states north of that.
Yeah, it was way farther than expected.
And Maine's a big state because a lot of the states up here in the Northeast are obviously, like, really small. Like, Rhode Island is so small, and Vermont and New Hampshire, all really small. And Maine is, like, significantly bigger than those.
Yeah, but...
Which, duh, but I don't really think about that.
But, yeah, no, I did not think it was that far, but I just assume everything up here is, like, within an hour you're in another state, no matter which direction you go.
Yeah.
But I did not think I just didn't think Maine would be so pretty.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and everything was really affordable. Like, I got a shirt for my mom and, like, shirts for us, and it was so cheap. I was like, whoa. Because usually when we go somewhere, it'll be, like, no less than $50 for a shirt, and if you want a sweatshirt, it'll be, like, $90, which is just crazy.
Yeah, everything you got was the same price as one thing here or wherever we've been going.
Yeah.
Like, the Hamptons was more expensive than here, which was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything felt really cheap to us, which was good. And yeah, I don't know, the way that where we stayed at was just really cool. Like, the view from our little balcony was amazing, but whenever you went to the rooftop pool or you went down to the little, like, I guess, docks or whatever, the view was insane. You just would see these little islands out there in the harbor and tons of boats coming in and out. And there was a lot of, like, older looking fishing boats just all, like, anchored in the harbor. It looked like a little postcard or something. It was cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. We'll probably post a picture on the Instagram or something so y'all can see it. Or I've probably definitely posted some pictures on my personal Instagram at this point if y'all want to look at those. But it was really, really pretty. Like, way prettier than I expected it to be. And very outdoorsy, which is kind of unfortunate because they had a lot of, like, whale watching tours and kayaking and things like that, and we couldn't really do that kind of stuff just because we have the dogs and we couldn't really leave them in the hotel for an extended period of time because you're not supposed to do that. So
yeah, and they howl and whine really loud.
Yeah, they do good at home, but I think just because it's a strange place, like,
they think we're just abandoning them there.
Yeah, they get scared. So we just kind of bring them around with us. But yeah, so first day we went to Acadia National Park, and it was really, really pretty. And we drove up this mountain, Cadillac Mountain, because, like I said, we were not anticipating, like, a huge hiking trip. Because we were just ill-prepared and made this decision, like, so last minute to even go.
Well, and it was kind of frustrating, too, at this park because we drove back and forth on the same little road. I don't know how many times trying to figure out how to get to the Cadillac, like, scenic route for cars, and then also make sure we had the right permit. And then once we found the Cadillac place, like, mountain route, we had to get a reservation, so we had to turn back out, and then we got that and we had to go all the way back to it because we had already driven far away to get reception on Claire's phone because you had to do it online, and they wouldn't just sell you or, like, set up the reservation there for some reason. But once we got up there and we went to the top of the mountain, it was so pretty. Like, the view from up there, you could see down, and I think we were overlooking Bar Harbor where we were staying. And you just had like this huge, like it was a 360 view from up there of everything in the area, and it didn't look real for a second to me because the clouds were underneath where we were standing on top of this little mountain, and it was just beautiful.
Yeah, it was really pretty. It was well worth the hassle. And the whole national park was really pretty. We ended up going back the next day to like see more of it. But
Didn't we just go around the loop that went all the way around it?
yeah, because there's this thing called Thunder Hole, and it's like two big rocks in the ocean, and the waves are supposed to splash up, and when they hit the rocks, it sounds like thunder. But we tried to find this thing for 2 days, and we could not find it. So we ended up just driving in like a big old loop around the whole park, which was still really pretty. Like, it was really cool to see the park.
Yeah, it was just frustrating because we pulled over pretty much exactly where it said Thunder Hole or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And you went over there, and it was literally just normal coastline. And I'm like, is it more inland? And it like went under the ground, and then it was like in the middle somewhere over there. Like, I'm kind of thinking that's what it was. Because there was
literally have
nothing
no
on the
idea,
coastline, right?
No.
Yeah, so we don't know what this place is or where it's at, but we tried.
If y'all ever go, let us know. I hear it's great. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the park was cool, just on its own. So I feel like we spent a lot of our time at the national park, honestly.
Well, yeah, that was like really the only thing we could even do with the dogs.
Well, we also like walked around the little town. We went to the pool several times.
We got ice cream a couple times.
I got ice cream. It was really good.
Which Maine is really big on their blueberries.
Yeah, which I did
And-
not know that.
Yeah, their blueberry pie was really good, and then this blueberry ice cream I got from this place was also really good. And I wish that I could get more of it because it was so good.
Yeah, I never knew the blueberry thing. I knew that Maine was known for their lobster. Honestly, because of High School Musical too. When Sharpay is singing her little song in the pool, and she says that she gets lobster imported from Maine. So that's when I
did not
originally
even.
found
I never
that out.
caught that ever. Like watching the movie, or like I never heard anyone really say like Maine lobster, unless it was maybe Red Lobster said something. Like it sounded familiar when you told me that.
Lobster.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I just feel like I never in my head was like, yeah, Maine's the place to go.
Yeah, well, Sharpay Evans said that it was, so I've just had in my head that that's where you go for a great lobster is
Well,
Maine.
That's like every place you go to there, like even the bars, if they serve any kind of food, they're like, oh, we got lobster too.
Even breakfast, which is really unfortunate for me because I don't like seafood other than calamari, really.
Scallops.
I do like scallops a little bit, but there were hardly any, like usually it's like, okay, I'll get a burger while everyone else gets seafood or something. Like, I don't care, you know. But here it was like Krabby Patties, and it was like a crab cake instead of a burger. And so my options for food were like extremely limited, but I survived.
Yeah, I tried 2 different lobster rolls from 2 different places, and they honestly taste about the same. Really, the only things that they change are the amount of butter they use and the roll, like how they toast it, or like the roll will be slightly different. But it's basically all the same stuff. It's cold lobster, one of those top cut hot dog buns, and some butter, and that's really all it is. But the lobster was pretty good. It was better than any other lobster roll I've had. And everything else. They even had like lobster crepes though for breakfast at that one place. They had. I did have some lobster bisque that was pretty good. I'm surprised there wasn't like lobster ice cream, to be honest with you, but I probably would have tried that if they had it.
Yeah, they were like, I mean, understandably, but they were just so all about their lobster. It was kind of crazy.
It's really all they got besides pretty views.
Yeah. And I think in the winter, like, they have really good skiing. If you're into that kind of thing. I'm not, because I skied one time and I hurt my leg. Ow. Speaking of hurting
you literally
legs.
just did it.
Oh my gosh. It has been a week. I can't believe it's already Wednesday.
Yeah.
Where has time gone?
Yeah, I don't even. It's been a lot. Like mentally, I feel exhausted from just sitting in the car staring at a road for so long. And like last night before we stopped, you had to like help me. Like I kept almost running red lights.
Yeah, it was actually really scary.
I was just so tired by that point. And I just was not. I was like, just get me to the hotel. And I just was not paying enough attention.
Yeah. Yeah, which I want to talk about, but so that was really what we did in Maine. We just swam, went to the national park, walked around the little town, got ice cream, lobster roll.
We just tried to take it all in and enjoy it. I think one of my favorite parts was just sitting in the pool on the roof and looking out into the harbor and then looking back, and you can see all the mountains, and it was just like the most picturesque place you can be in, I feel like, especially in a pool just chilling. It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But like in a great way.
Yeah, it was really pretty, and I would love to go back in the winter or something because I know it gets cold there and like really snowy, so.
Yeah, I would love to see the mountains and all that in the snow.
Yeah, same.
Plus I think because we really like the seaside, like harbor, I guess, vibe you'd call it, like how Cape Cod had.
But like gloomy.
Yeah, I was not. The Hamptons was not gloomy, really. It felt more. It wasn't gloomy to me. It felt more like, I don't know, like a normal, like just seaside kind of feeling, like beaches and stuff like that.
I don't know. I feel like the Hamptons is kind of known for being like gloomy beach.
Maybe
depending
in the
on the
winter,
time
the
of
summer,
year.
like I guess when we went to Cape Cod, it wasn't the summer yet. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like that feeling, but I could see Maine having that same feeling during the winter.
Yeah, the Hamptons was like disgusting looking though compared to Maine. And the Hamptons is beautiful, but like Maine was just
Maine is
level.
like untouched, like,
yeah.
nature, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And they take really good care of it. Like they're serious about it up there.
Yeah. So that
Which-
was really pretty.
Yeah, that's like I was just saying, that's one of their biggest assets. So they got to protect it. That and the lobster.
Yeah, literally.
That's all
Even
they got.
driving through like Vermont and New Hampshire though, because I have never been to either of those states, and those are really pretty too. I mean, there's nothing there, but
Yeah, they're very desolate, but like I'm sure like the towns and the cities have more to them. But we pass through a lot of small towns where you kind of look around and you don't see a lot of businesses or anything, and you're just kind of wondering like, what do these people do? How do they even pay for stuff? Like, what is going on here?
I feel like that's really true for any state though, because I mean we've gone on a lot of road trips, and even just within Texas, like driving from, I don't know, I can't think of two cities.
I don't know. When you get around Amarillo,
Yeah, exactly.
that's where I'm wondering like, what are these people doing?
Like going from Texas to Colorado even, it's like most of that drive there's literally nothing except when you're in Amarillo.
I just imagine everyone out there is living like their Walter White Breaking Bad life, like cooking up
Yeah.
something in a trailer or a camper out there in the middle of nowhere.
Maybe, I don't know. I forgot what. Oh yeah, New Hampshire and Vermont are pretty, but there's like nothing to do out there,
Yeah.
which is true for most states. But yeah, so we ended up leaving to come home yesterday, and then again the drive just took so long. I don't even know if y'all care about this, but like we were supposed to return the rental car at 9 p.m. and my
Yesterday.
phone, yesterday, and my phone was saying we weren't going to get home until 8:30, which was not enough time to like unload everything and then return the rental car, because you're not supposed to have dogs in the rental car, which it's like fine, but you have to pay like a big fee if there's dog hair in it. So as long as you clean it out, it's okay. And that did not leave us any time to clean out the car. Plus, we weren't even going to make it there in time anyway. So we were like, okay, it's going to be cheaper to just stop now in Connecticut, where we were, like 2.5 hours away from home.
Basically Hartford.
Yeah, capital of Connecticut. And, like, stop here, sleep, and then just leave early in the morning, extend the rental car by a day, and then have enough time to, like, clean out the car and do all that. So, that's what we did.
It was a lot. I'm still like, I'm not even recovered at all. I still feel, I don't know, just wiped out. My legs hurt, and even just returning the rental car, I like missed a turn. I had to like loop around the streets because everything's a one way around here. And then no one was even outside the Avis place when I pulled up, so I had to like kind of pull it into their little garage, but I was unsure if I should do that because it barely even fit. and there was a cop that was like out on the sidewalk, and so I was trying not to like block the sidewalk. It was just a whole mess.
Yeah, another thing about this rental car, so because it was so last minute, we got a minivan because that was all that was left, which I was like, okay, you know, fine, whatever. This van, literally, I feel like it was just cursed or something. The registration was 2 years expired, which I didn't even notice until we got to Maine because obviously it's not my car. I would just assume it's a rental car. The registration is up to date. So then I was worried we were going to get a ticket the whole time for having like 2 years expired car registration. And then the check engine light came on and it thankfully like went away. But as soon as we start driving, the car was like shaking all crazy. And it was just like a mess with that car from the beginning.
Yeah, the accelerator was really strange. Like I would press on it sometimes, especially when you're going uphill. It didn't like hills, and it would not even try to accelerate anymore. It would just like maintain or kind of still slow down a little bit. And sometimes I would press it and it would take off like it had an insane engine in it all of a sudden, and it would just go. And then yeah, about the time we were like going over those mountains really close to where we were at Bar Harbor or whatever, I guess it was the Appalachian Mountains. Once we were going over those, that's when it just dinged on, and I was like, of course, this stupid car. But I really didn't mind the car overall. It did have stupid stuff about it, but I thought it was kind of nice to have a minivan. It was like more spacious. It had nicer seats in it with like the little armrests on the interior, on the interior side of the car, not just the door side. And I really liked it. It was pretty comfy to drive. But it was a little wonky. You hated it, but
Yeah, I really didn't like it. Also for the dogs, it wasn't ideal because there's only, 2 seats in the middle, and usually we use this like hammock thing, so the dogs are like contained in the back seat. But since there wasn't a middle seat, Frankie kept like sinking to the bottom of it because there wasn't a seat.
Well, yeah, he would do that, and then it would pull the sides in.
Yeah.
And the seats would be completely exposed, and then they were like running underneath the seats over the hammock, and they were like tying all their leashes in knots together.
Yeah, literally.
I don't even understand how they were doing it. When we would try to get them out to go to the bathroom with them, like you had to untangle and untie the leashes every time, and it was getting really frustrating. And they would be trying to jump out of the car because it has the sliding open doors, and yeah, it was harder than expected to use the minivan or go with the minivan.
Yeah, because these corgis, they just do not know how to behave. Like, Frankie's been on so many road trips with us. He was used to apartment living before, and so he's, like, really good on a leash. And the corgis, they're, like, horrible. I mean, they're great dogs, and we love them, but they're just, like, so chaotic.
They have way too much energy compared to Frankie.
Yeah, Frankie's just chilling. He's like, wherever y'all are going, I'm going. Like, he doesn't care. And then Ruby and Penny are just...
They'll take turns, like, trying to get up in the front with us, and they'll cry and whine in your face, and then they'll try to get in your lap while you're driving, or just, like, they'll be like, give me attention, and you have to kind of, like, shove them back because they just don't listen, and they just take turns over and over, and it never ends.
Yeah, they're a lot to handle, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, it's just chaos. But we made it. We got everything back. We cleaned up the van mostly before we returned it. And I don't know. I'm sure they'll still charge us. They always find a reason to try and charge us like the max amount over like 2 dog hairs. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, but we're done with the rental car and we're home. And it's so hot. Maine weather was so nice, and here it's just awful and hot. But they're supposed to be...
Didn't you say it's going to be in the hundreds soon?
Like with the humidity, yeah.
Okay.
But it's supposed to storm later tonight and then bring like a cool front. So it should
For
be...
what, like a day or two, and then it's going to be hot again?
Yeah. But I think that's enough rambling about our trip. I feel like y'all probably don't even care, but that's what's been going on this week. For your birthday trip. Happy birthday. Woo.
Yep, it was fun. And if you are listening and you're curious about Maine, we recommend you go. It was well worth the trip. Maybe don't drive, you can fly in. But yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, maybe one of y'all out there is contemplating, like, should I go to Maine? And this episode helped you decide, like, you should definitely go to Maine.
Yeah, it's cool. But I don't know. What else we got to talk about?
All right, let's go through some of these random news stories I found. They're, like, really random, okay?
There's a huge change up in topics. Just like our trip to Maine. And then, all right, let's just read these news articles real quick.
Well, okay, let's talk about, like, an actual news thing real quick, and then we'll move on to, like, more funny stuff.
It happened while we were there.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you haven't been living under a rock, you know that Trump got shot and is alive, but, like, some of his ear is missing.
Yeah, they clipped his ear.
Yeah.
And he was millimeters away from, forever sleep. And yeah, it was kind of, the whole thing is bizarre, but the chances of him turning his head at that time and not getting, killed that's insane.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have, like, I have thoughts, but I just think mainly it's sad. And it's also just, like, a weird feeling because you're 26 now, too. I forget.
Mm-hmm.
But, so we're 26, and it just feels weird to, like, be living in a time where there's an assassination attempt, like, on a former president. No matter who it was. Like, it doesn't matter if it was Trump, if they did this to Biden, if they did this to Obama, George Bush, like, anybody that is or was ever president.
It's wrong no matter what.
Yeah, it's just really crazy. And I just felt like in our lifetime, like, it just seems like we should have progressed past this. Like, the security should be up to par or whatever, and it just, I don't know, it shouldn't be a thing that could even happen, which I guess that's naive thinking, because, like, obviously things happen all the time, but I don't know, it just seems weird and crazy.
It's just like the cherry on top of our times, because we've experienced so much in the last, I don't know, like 5 to 10 years. It's so insane where we're at right now, and it was really sad to see or hear that, just because of, like, that's the last thing we needed right now was another insane thing to happen. And I think it just is going to supercharge things more, but we will see. I hope it brings people together rather than that, but you never know.
I feel like it's already not doing that. I feel like people in the first hour were like, we all need to stand together, and now it's just like both sides going at each other again.
Yeah, it's like you're going to think what you're going to think about it immediately, no matter what. Like, you already have your thoughts, your opinions. Like, it is what it is,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll always remember we were in our hotel room in Bar Harbor, Maine when we heard that Trump was shot, so.
Yeah, it's just a crazy thing, honestly.
Yeah, and they have the nice picture of him now that'll be in history books forever, probably, and it's just it's just weird. When you told me, I almost didn't believe you. I was like, oh, is that like a mistake or what? But then the news ran it, and they're still probably talking about it, but they played the video over and over and over, like, all night long the next day, and they're probably, again, still doing it.
Well, yeah, I think just because it's such a crazy thing.
That's huge news. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just weird. It's weird and just wild that happened.
Yeah, not that it's about us. It's like, oh, we lived through an assassination.
Yeah, like we weren't even there, although we did drive. Did we drive through Pennsylvania?
No, that's west.
Okay, yeah. No.
Yeah, west.
My geography's terrible, but yeah, we were within a couple states of it. It wasn't that far from us, but it was still, it's just weird. Like, I just never would think that we would live through that, or like politics would turn into that again,
I know. It's just like, no matter what you believe, like, can't we just all get along again? Which I know, like, people probably haven't really gotten along politically in a long time, and they probably won't ever, but it's just sad. Because, like, for me, I don't care what you believe, honestly. Like, I'm down to hear you out,
Yeah, I think we both like to hear every side and make our own opinions up, or, come to our own conclusions, but it's just what's tough about it is it's how deep everything runs, and it's just we're in a hard place, and this was just a crazy thing to happen right now, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so I encourage everyone to love one another.
Yeah.
Spread kindness.
I feel like we usually push that message, but yeah, no, I think this is a very important time for everybody to just put aside the politics and just, we're all humans. Like, we're all in this together. Like, we all experience the same things, or, you know, similar things. Like, if you live in the same place, whatever. Like, we're more similar than we think we are.
Yeah.
And regardless of, like, the things you've experienced in life, you're still a human. You're going to have feelings and emotions and all that. And we all feel pain and joy, and we can all love. And it's really our choice to, you know, pick the more positive things.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts about this. If y'all want to hear them, maybe we can throw it in a conspiracy theory episode, because
Like a bonus episode on this topic.
yeah. But my conspiracy theory might not be what y'all expect it to be, honestly. I'm not going to say it right now because I'm just not. But like, if y'all want to hear us talk about it more.
It's too soon, too fresh.
Yeah.
But
either way, regardless, like, I am not like a, I don't know.
you're
Like,
not a Trumpian type person. You're
I'm
just kinda
not.
Like,
I
you're
don't-
very neutral on everything.
yeah, I really am, like, pretty much dead center on, like, so many political topics. Like, I don't like Trump and I don't like Biden. Like, I don't like either one of them, but I also don't want either one of them to die.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter who you're for. It's just like, that should not be what politics is about, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll have a bonus episode sometime, like once more information comes out maybe, and we'll just give our thoughts and opinions. Like, not that we're right or anything, but I mean, I feel like most people are thinking some things like that we're thinking about it, because it's just wild.
Yeah. There's a lot of theories out there. And
Yeah, there's like, you were on, like, were you on Reddit or something, like, our Twitter X? Like, you were just like, as soon as it happened, you were like, oh my gosh, people are saying this and that, and it was like so much stuff.
because, okay, I don't believe every conspiracy theory I read, but I do like to I like to know what they are.
Well, Twitter's good about that. Like, it pumps out a lot of information. I'm sure a lot of it's wrong, but you will see some stuff that, like, can be legit, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna leave it at that for now.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Like, we don't really, I think we're both kind of just burnt out on it, but we don't think it's right. We're both pretty neutral. I probably lean one way more than her, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I feel like I lean the opposite way of you.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, which is funny, but like, I think that's also just how it goes, you know, sometimes. But we're not like the polar opposites. It's like we can have good conversations.
Yeah, I would hope. But okay, now I feel like we're being too vague and weird, and like things
Yeah, we're
are
definitely
probably
being
not
too weird. It's like
making
we're trying to like
sense.
have the episode without doing it. Yeah, okay, we'll move on.
Yeah, just everyone. What does Ellen say? Be kind to one another. Even though everyone hates
Like, everyone says that. It's just Ellen.
well, she would end her show with that, but everyone like hates Ellen now because she's mean, I guess.
Yeah, she was not kind to everyone.
Yeah, but
Don't be like Ellen.
yeah, but we are actually kind. I would like to think so. Y'all can listen to us instead of Ellen.
Yeah,
Be
we'll
kind
take
to
all the
one
Ellen
another.
listeners.
Okay. Anyway, so my news story is goats, plural, trampled a parked SUV on a mountain in Colorado.
Wait, a goat did what?
So multiple goats trampled a parked car on a mountain in Colorado. So this car was just chilling, parked.
They just had it out for it.
Yeah.
Do you have a picture?
Yeah, there's a whole video. I'll like link it in the notes on this episode so that y'all can watch it. But a goat was walking across the vehicle's hood while a second stomps on the rooftop cargo box. So they just weren't really feeling this car and they wanted to stomp on it.
They look curious. They're like, what is this thing?
Yeah.
Like, they're like, this is not a mountain or hill we've seen before here. Also, mountain goats are insane animals. They can stand on the side of a mountain, like, on a pebble. Like,
Yeah,
balance
that
on a
is really
pebble. It's
crazy.
really weird. And, like, I've seen videos where polar bears or bears are trying to get them. and they'll go down a side of the mountain that they think they can do it because the goats are doing it, and they'll just fall off the side of the mountain because they can't stand on that stuff.
Yeah. Goats are interesting creatures.
They just, they don't seem, I don't know. I know that a lot of people like to eat goat or they like goat milk. So like, I know there's a purpose for them, but like if you just have them and they're just there, they don't really do anything. They kind of, I guess they eat grass and they'll like maintain a piece of property, but I don't know. They're just an odd creature. And they're kind of just, they're strange.
They're
cute,
like, they're
funny. Yeah, they are cute. They can be cute, but they can also be really ugly.
Yeah.
Like when they're like, have big teeth and they like spit at you.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And there's certain ones that have huge horns and they will hurt you.
Well, I like the little ones. And the ones stomping on this car honestly just look really funny. So I'll put the video in the notes and y'all should watch it so you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that was a funny thing I found.
I don't have one because she sprung that on me like right before we started, and I was like, all right, I guess we're doing that.
It's a slow news week.
Well, yeah, Trump's taking over everything with this whole ordeal, so we're back to Trump already.
Yeah. Moving on. There was... Okay, so you know about the monolith? Monolith? Is that how you say it? It's like a glass, like...
Well, there's like a lot of them. Which one? I know at one point, though, like a couple of years ago, yeah, those were just popping up everywhere.
Yeah, so I think we've all heard about this thing happening, but another one just popped up a couple weeks ago near Vegas. So now, okay, so first it was Utah, then there was one in Romania, then California, then Spain, Wales, and Paraguay, and now there's one near Vegas. So it started in the later half of 2020.
I just wonder if the locations are significant for some reason. And they look kind of weird because they're like mirrors on every side.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a mirrored, like,
obelisk.
column. A what?
Obelisk.
Oh, yeah.
Obelisk, however you say that.
Yeah, that might be a good way to do it. But I feel like y'all know what I'm talking about because I feel like this was big news in 2020 because everybody was like, what is that?
Yeah, that was like right around the time all the alien stuff was going on.
Yeah, exactly.
And then those were popping up. I had just thought that someone came out and admitted to setting them up.
I don't know, but there's a website called monolithtracker.com, and there have been 245 of these things reported since late 2020. And this is from npr.org, is where I found this article.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, maybe someone didn't admit to it. I just thought they did. It just feels like a whole Banksy thing, but with one piece of art that they're just putting in all over the world, you know?
Yeah,
because it is just weird, like where they show up.
Yeah, a gallerist who represents the estate of the late artist John McCracken told the New York Times that he believed the object was created by McCracken, but he later retracted that statement after getting a closer look at the monolith and seeing that it was machine-made. So, I don't know, there's a lot of theories on who it is, but I don't think anyone has come out and said, like, hey, I did this.
Yeah. I mean, it would be hard to transport it and set it up because I know you probably can't just build it on site. Like,
well, that's why a lot of people say aliens.
I mean, yeah, I would love for it to be aliens because it'd be way more fun of an answer than some guy is just like going around the world with these things, setting them up, you know?
Well, I think if it is not aliens, then it's not just some guy. It's like a bunch of people.
Group.
Like, people think Banksy isn't just one guy. It's like there's a lot of people that work together, and it's like Banksy is just the idea of it, but it's really like a team.
Like what is that group? The hackers, like Anonymous or whatever. You know, with the masks.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's just a group of hackers. It's not one hacker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird how like groups of people are hiding behind singular identities, but it also makes sense because then people aren't expecting it necessarily to be a group. Also,
if you knew who the person was, it loses like all intrigue.
Yeah, it's like part of the magic.
I can't even speak anymore. I'm like, are these words even...
I keep saying words, and I'm like, that is not how you say that word, and
Yeah.
I don't even think that was the word I should use.
Yeah, but it takes away, like, the mysteriousness of it if you know who the person is. Because, like, the draw of Banksy and these monolith things are that it's like, who put it there, when and where is the next one going to show up? Like, nobody knows.
Because I wonder all the time, because there's, like, that Banksy museum here. Like, I wonder who that is. Like, is it just one person? But I also just think, like, anyone could just get good at, like, that style. Because, like, I'm pretty sure it's just, like, those little quick templates they put up and they spray paint it, like, layers super quick. And then, like, you can do anything pretty quickly. You don't have to be necessarily an artist. You just have to have those templates.
Yeah, I don't know. I've read a lot about who Banksy is. Not a lot. I'm not, like, super, like, an expert on the subject or anything, but I did research it quite a bit. And I think it's, like, they all know each other.
Yeah, it's like
I might be totally making that up. Y'all don't quote me.
Like a coalition of artists around the world.
Yeah.
I don't know. My favorite thing, though, by that one specifically, this is random, but is the one where it went to auction in the picture frame, and then it shreds itself. I thought that was super cool. Like,
yeah.
Because that in itself was part of the art, like it shredding itself.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like it was layered and it was just cool. And it's like, yeah, you try to buy this. But what's funny is whoever did buy that and then that happened, it probably shot up in value even more after being destroyed.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I like to think that it's one person, though, because that makes it more fun to think about.
That person's real busy, though, if it is one person.
Yeah, because there will be, like, for Banksy, even these monolith things, it's like I just said, Spain, California, Paraguay, Wales, Vegas. Like, that's a lot of places to be in.
Yeah, it wouldn't be easy to do that. You would have to... I don't know. I feel like it would just be a rich person who has too much time on their hands. And they're like, I'm going to go travel the world and do these weird things and make people think that there's aliens or whatever. So...
Yeah, that would be a fun job to have.
I know, that would be super fun to have so much money. You're just like, how am I going to mess with everyone in the world today? Like,
yeah. Banksy specifically, though, a lot of his stuff is in London.
There's some here, though, too, right?
I haven't been able... Because I was trying to look it up because I wanted to, like, see one in person. And I think there's only one left, and I think it's in the Bronx. Maybe? But yeah.
So the museum, though, is that just like prints of that stuff?
I have no idea. We should check it out and we'll report back. Banksy's an artist too, if y'all like don't know, but
I feel like everyone knows who Banksy is.
Just a really low key artist that no one knows about.
This is random, but it's because it's on our TV paused right now. Our new show that we've been watching is Deal or No Deal Island or something like that.
Yeah, it's literally the best show ever.
It's way better than the original Deal or No Deal, and it's, I don't know, the reality game shows aren't usually as like this fun to watch, but the mix of people is great, and so I don't know, I recommend watching it.
Yeah, it's Deal or No Deal with Survivor and Fear Factor, basically.
Yeah, and
it's awesome.
It is. It's on Peacock. Y'all should sponsor us if you're listening or ever listen.
Oh yeah.
We need sponsorships. That would be great. But yeah, it's a great show, and that's our most recent watch. Maybe we should have a segment where we go, what are we watching, Because I feel like we watch a lot of different things.
I feel like recently it's just been game shows, like The Weakest Link, which...
Ever since then, it's been game shows.
Yeah, I really love game shows, honestly. Usually just trivia because I like to answer the questions, but this show is amazing. I love it.
Well, in our first night in Maine, too, it wasn't a smart TV, so we just had to, like, flick through channels. And we landed on the game show channel, and so we went to sleep.
Game show network.
Okay,
GSN.
yeah, whatever. And so yeah, we fell asleep to that, and then I woke up and it was like 5 a.m. and it was still on the TV playing, and it was just like running through every game show that they had on there. So that was kind of crazy, but that's how much we've been into game shows recently.
I used to love that channel when I was younger, though, and like actually had cable. The Game Show Network.
See, growing up,
awesome.
like I watched Deal or No Deal and Fear Factor, which is fun. That's probably why I like this one so much, but I really didn't watch like any other game shows.
What about like Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
We watched that for like a little bit.
Oh, I loved that show.
But then like American Idol
Jeopardy.
became a big thing. We didn't watch Jeopardy.
I feel like my mom and I would watch Jeopardy a lot.
I feel like my grandpa and grandma did, and we would only watch it when we went over there, but we weren't like, put on Jeopardy.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate it as much back then, I feel like.
Yeah, I just feel like as a kid, your brain is not ready for that game.
My brain is still not ready for Jeopardy. It's hard. Like,
Yeah,
the questions they
Jeopardy's
ask are really hard.
But I don't know, the one you like, the weakest link, that one had more relevant information that our generation knows.
Yeah, it's way easier than Jeopardy.
Yeah, you can actually sit there and answer about like 90% of them or more if you're really paying attention or trying.
Yeah, I think I might apply for it, so y'all catch me on the weakest link.
I just feel like in person they're way, way harder.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I would do horrible and I would be so nervous, but maybe I'll do it. Just
Yeah, as soon as it would be my turn and the
because-
camera's on me or a light, I would be like, I don't know. I'd be like those people who are like, pass, and that you can't even really pass on that game.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I get really nervous with stuff like that. I remember the spelling bee at school. I spelled plural P-I because, like, I was picturing it in my head, and I don't even know what happened. Like, I know Pearl. Plural is...
I know it's Pearl.
No, P-O-U-R-A-L. But I literally said P-I, and then I was like, no, that's not what I meant. But it was too late. I was already out.
I never did a spelling bee.
I'm a great speller, but not when it comes to stuff like that, just because it's way more stressful when everyone's like watching you and listening to you.
I used to be really good at spelling when I was younger, and I don't know, things have happened in my life now where my brain does not spell good anymore.
Yeah, I'm still pretty good at it, I like to think. I love spelling.
I'm not. I start spelling words sometimes and I'm like, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, we've been out of school too long.
Yeah, I just like, it'll be simple words too. I'm like, I don't know what you do after that.
Yeah, I kind of get that. Alright, guys. We have rambled enough. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this episode. I think it was kind of fun. Let us know if you want more just like random episodes
Yeah,
with
I thought
us.
it was fun to just talk about whatever we're interested in or
Yeah.
what we just did. So
Yeah, so let us know if y'all like that. We can do another one, and we won't use 30 minutes of it
talk about
talking.
Trump.
No, I was going to say about Maine or just like a trip,
Yeah.
because that might not be very interesting to y'all if y'all have no
Y'all
interest
may not
in what
even
we're
hear
doing.
that much about what we're talking about because when we edit it, but yeah, it got a little like caught on that subject because we didn't know where to go with it. But
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's fine. I'll leave it in, but yeah, I think that's it for this week's episode. Next week, again, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm like not making any more promises about the YouTube or like what the episode's gonna be, but it'll be something good. So
it'll be damn good.
Yep.
I don't know. We're just trying to keep on our schedule. We're still figuring out how to even plan an episode. It's really hard.
Because we don't know what y'all want to hear. Like, is it boring to hear us talk about our life? Do y'all like it? Are y'all sick of the life lessons and wellness?
I think we just
Tips
need to
and
do more
tricks.
of where we want to talk about because that's why we're doing it.
Yeah, I agree. But there's a lot of things I could talk about and would like to talk about. But it's just like, what do y'all want to hear? You know, like, give us a direction. Because we have a lot of subjects we could talk about. We just don't know, like, which one to pick. So,
I say we just make a wheel and put the topics and we just spin it every week.
yeah, make our own game show.
That could be a YouTube segment we put up.
Yeah. I'm
What
down.
will it be this week? We don't know. We'll find
I
out.
think that would be kind of fun. Okay, so that's all for this week's episode. Follow us on Instagram at On the Air with Brett and Claire. Join us for our book club. What's the man search for meaning?
The man.
I have not started the book yet, obviously. But that will be on August 12th. Man Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. And read along with us. We'll talk about it on August 12th. And
Yeah.
anything else?
Not really, no. I mean, thank y'all for listening and I don't know, give us some grace on this one. We are extremely tired right now and our brains are not functioning all the way. But I think we put together a pretty decent episode. And yeah, we'll hope you come around next time and listen to us again.
Yeah, I think regardless of anything, it was fun. And we're committed to getting an episode out for y'all every Thursday, and we don't want it to just be like trash, like just to get an episode up for the sake of getting it up, because we have fun doing this, and I had fun with this episode. I just hope y'all have fun listening to it. So let us know your thoughts. Maybe if you didn't like it, don't leave us a review on Spotify, but if you did, go ahead and give us 5 stars. And
just do whatever you want, really. You know,
yeah,
live your life.
I guess so, but it kind of hurts us if you could leave us a bad review, so please don't.
Please don't hurt us, but live your life.
I'll be sad about it. Okay, that's all. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you, guys.
And we'll see ya next Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.